Hey everybody, Dave Blair here, and I wanted to talk about Project Cars 2. So, I do have this game on the Xbox, and I also have it on the PC. I really like this game, although I have a few issues with it. First off, I think the graphics are great, I think the car selection is great. Mainly the issues that I have with Project Cars 2 is the online multiplayer. That is one of my favorite things to do is to go online and race people. Now, I'm coming from a Forza background, and that is where I like to race. And the reason I like to race Forza games is because when you get in a multiplayer online lobby, it's just race after race after race. They're all sprint races. You get on the track, you do maybe 5 laps, and the race is done. You go back into the lobby. You can change your car, and then the race starts up again. Another race. You get to vote on the next track. Usually, I have a choice between two or a random. So you can put your vote in, and everybody just continues to race. People come in and out of the hopper, and I really enjoy that. I don't have to put too much thought into what race. I pick my car for the track that pops up. It doesn't really matter to me. That is what I enjoy most about Forza is just the race after race after race. Now, with that being said, I know it's not as much simulation as reality. Because there is no practice laps, there's no qualifying, which I'm okay with because I think a lot of that is just a waste of time. I just want to get out and race. So, the reason I bring that up is I've played a lot of online Project Cars 2. I played a lot of online with Project Cars 1 also. I like the license system, but the issue that I have with Project Cars is the way they do their online. You have one host that's in charge of everything. You have to pick the track, you have to pick the cars, you have to pick the weather. Now, while that is great for some people like Gamer Muscle, um, Random Call Sign, people that have a lot of people that they can get together and give out a password and have some kind of control, especially like Gamer Muscle, he has certain cars and certain tracks that he likes to run. So if you're one of his subscribers, you get notified that he's going to be racing. And, he likes to go in and set up the races. And it's successful because he has people that want to race with him. My experience is if I'm the host, um, I try to set up a good car and track combination, and I try to set up good weather combination for the track that we're running. But usually you have somebody that's like, oh, can we run these cars? Like I get most people type in their comments, but they'll want to change the track or they'll want to change the cars or I don't know. It's almost like a burden to be the host because when you have people that want to control the room even though they're not the host, you know what I'm saying? Or sometimes like on Xbox we have the chat, which is easier. Over Xbox Live works great. Everybody comes in the room and they can chat with you. So I don't know, just that whole. I wish that they would just take. I don't know. Because sometimes it's good to be able to set up a race. I've had some races that I've raced in that were set up and good, but I've also had some bad experiences with people that set up the race. I personally don't like to be the person to set up the race because again, I feel like I always have somebody that complains like, "Oh, I wish you would have picked this car. Can we do this car next? Or can we do this track next?" And the same thing, like as soon as you're done with a race, you have to figure out what track you want to do next. And it's just, I don't know, it's kind of a hassle. I don't really like it. I'd rather just, Tell me the car and track that we're running, and let's just do it. The other thing too is I've had people complain like I like to just take stock cars, no setup, and so you have people complain, oh, I want to be able to set up my car and all this other nonsense. Um, that's fine, I guess. I mean, I don't really care, but I'm not a tuner, so that's not that important to me. I know it's more simulation or it's more realistic to, have a track and car combo where you can set up your car and take some practice laps and then try to set a good qualifying and then, yeah, I get it. But seems like it's just a waste of time when all I want to do is get out and race. Anyway, so let me tell you about some of the bad experiences that I've had. So I had a race at Daytona, and I had just gotten into this lobby, and I was doing well. I was running in third, and about halfway through the race, all of a sudden it started to snow, and I was like, oh man, I didn't, wasn't expecting this, and the car wouldn't handle, and I went into the pits. I couldn't figure out how to get the all-terrain or snow tires, and I mean, it was just awful. And I was like, all I could think of was what a dick this host is, because he obviously, he set up this weather to be a certain way, and what he was doing was he's just trying to take advantage. Of course, he ended up winning the race because he was the only one prepared for what he had in store for us. So, I don't know, it's kind of like a cheap shot if you ask me. I know some of you will probably disagree with me and be like, well, you should have known how to put on tires, and, okay, I'm not that into it, I guess. I just want to get out and race. But when somebody, purposely sets up a race in their favor, again with the snow and nonsense, I don't know. I mean, even when you're not on a track that would have snow, like I don't know if it ever snows in Daytona in Florida. Anyway, so that happened, and but I've had some other really great races. Like this guy, he set up an hour-long race. He told everybody, hey, it's going to rain about halfway through, and and so while we were doing the practice and the qualifying and everything, I set up my pit stops correctly, and so I knew what to expect. And that was a great race. Um, I ended up winning that one actually. So anyway, this game has great potential. I love the license system, but I don't know. It doesn't. I don't think it fully gets implemented all the time. One of the other things about the online lobby is the car selection. Like this one, I think this is a Road E class car, but it shows up as RDE or RDD or whatever this car is in the class. I guess what I'm trying to say is the class systems are not all that clear. So most people just run the GT3. And, this has been talked about by Gamer Muscle also, is like, this is the GT3 simulator. Um, I think because people recognize the GT3 and they know what cars they're dealing with, and so that's why they jump in there. When you see RDE or some of the other things, you're like, I'm not sure what cars these are. Do I want to get in this lobby? And it's like they have so many car classes, it's too much. It's like I don't know. It it just should be a simpler way of saying, hey, these are the cars that we're running. Um, I don't know. Their whole lobby system needs to be redone, in my opinion. It's just hard to find the races that you want. Finally, back in the before they updated it, you couldn't even sort by how many people were racing in the lobby. Anyway, I just wanted to put a few thoughts of my Project Cars 2 out, and I really like the game. I think it could do better, but that's just kind of my thoughts and my ramblings. Thanks for watching.